You walk into Walmart on a Saturday. It's loud, kids are melting down in aisle 11, somebody's arguing over coupons at checkout, and your cart has that one squeaky wheel that sounds like a broken clarinet every 5 feet. And there it is, the wall of TVs. Big, bright, flashing every color possible like it's trying to hypnotize you. Each screen shouting the same phrases. 4K Ultra HD, Smart TV cinema quality viewing. And then you spot it. The infamous yellow rollback tag. That glowing rectangle of false hope. A 65-inch smart TV for weight. Is that right? That can't be right. That's cheaper than a flight to anywhere. You stand there blinking, thinking, this might be the deal of the decade. No, it's probably the headache of the year. Today, we're ranking the 10 most common Walmart TV brands from the absolute worst pieces of regret money can buy to the ones that might actually be worth plugging into your living room. Stick around until the very end because TV number 1, it's the only brand on this shelf that won't make you want to chuck the remote across the room. Let's start with rock bottom. Number 10, get ready. Number 10, Anin, the booby trap with a remote. You see these stacked higher than the cereal aisle during Black Friday. ON, yes, spelled with 2 N's, is Walmart's in-house brand, aka the kind of company that would build a TV from leftover blender parts and call it innovation. From the moment you touch it, it feels off. The plastic back flexes like it's made out of an old fast food tray, the stand wobbly spaghetti. And don't even breathe near the HDMI ports. They'll quit out of spite. You might think, well, it's cheap. I just need a bedroom TV. Wrong. This TV is the reason you'll sleep in silence. Dark scenes. Forget it. It's like watching Game of Thrones on a flashlighted Etch-a-Sketch. Motion blur turns sports into abstract art. The audio. Ever wonder what it sounds like when bees argue inside a tin bucket? There you go, that's on speakers. And just when you think it can't get worse, it does. The whole screen flickers, then blacks out right after that magical 3-month return window shuts. One guy online reported the remote died before he even finished setting it up. He thought the TV froze. No, the remote just gave up. ONN is a prank. A box of disappointment wearing a discount tag. Run. Number 9, RCA. Grandpa's disgraced legacy. This one hurts to say. RCA used to stand for something. It was the brand your grandparents had in the wooden console set. That thing lasted 20 years and survived 3 house moves. Now RCA at Walmart is just a sticker slapped onto low-effort, off-brand panels made in mystery factories. It lives off nostalgia. That's it. Colors washed out like jeans from the 90s. Blacks. Grey soup. Brightness. You'll be asking yourself if you left your sunglasses on. Let's talk about the smart part. Have. You ever tried running Netflix on an old toaster? That's RCA's OS. It lags, it stutters, random crashes. Half the time it freezes so hard you think it's testing your patience on purpose. Most people end up plugging in a Fire Stick just to make it usable. Durability, huh? HDMI ports fail, backlights flicker, and if you call support, you're bounced back and forth between RCA's license holder in Vietnam and Walmart's offshore help desk that just sends you a PDF with instructions from 2012. A guy on Reddit said it best. My RCA TV started humming, then dying, then humming again. Now it just sings when I try to turn it on. It has a ghost. Leave RCA in the past like VHS. Great memories. Terrible comeback. Number 8, JVC. The mystery box of May. JVC. The brand that made sick boomboxes and camcorders in high school. Now at Walmart, JVC is like the middle child stuck between terrible and almost tolerable. There's no consistency. Some models use Roku, some use Fire TV, and others run on a system you've never heard of before, and never want to again. You could buy 2 JVC TVS, same size, same shelf, and have completely opposite experiences. Picture-wise, meh, decent enough for rewatching Friends, but anything with fast motion gets smudged like butter on a lens. Black levels vanish. You'll find yourself squinting in scenes just to figure out, wait, is that a person or a shadow blob? Huh? But here's the heartbreaker. Even the decent ones don't last. Remote stops working. Pixels die. Loading screens never leave. Updates practically non-existent. JVC support in the US is about as reachable as a friend who owes you money. One user review said it all. The TV worked great until it didn't. Now it's stuck on the loading screen like a bad date who won't leave. JVC is a gamble. You might win, but you will definitely feel regret when you lose. Number 7. Philips. The name that lies to you. Okay, this one stings too. Philips overseas has clout Ambilight technology, OLED panels. In Europe, this brand is luxury. Here in Walmart, that ain't European Philips. That's a disguise. A stripped down clone pretending to belong in the same league. The first few hours after unboxing, you might think, this looks fine. But then you notice the lag. Input lag so bad, your controller feels like it's connected via smoke signals. Menus barely respond. And load screens might as well go, make popcorn every time you switch apps. Color inconsistent, some scenes blown out like a kid's cartoon, others so dull they feel drawn in chalk. Number 5. Vizio. The fall from glory. Back in the day, Vizio ruled the cheap TV space. 2009 through 2015, you couldn't beat it. 42-inch, good contrast, reliable picture. It was every broken college student's dream screen. But that was then. Now, it's complicated. Vizio panels still look surprisingly good. Some of them. Anyway, you get decent HDR, good brightness, respectable color reproduction for movies and casual binging. They kind of hold their own, especially at this price, but then you try to use it. Enter the villain of the story, SmartCast. SmartCast is Vizio's operating system, and it might be the least smart software in a smart TV today. Menus lag like molasses. Apps randomly freeze. You press buttons on the remote and feel like you're sending messages by carrier pigeon. Some folks straight up bypass the whole thing and just plug in a Roku or Fire Stick, which kind of defeats the whole point of buying a smart TV, right? And the problems don't stop there. Vizio suffered some serious trust issues in recent years. Dead HDMI ports, apps that stopped updating, panels randomly dimming overnight, units dying days outside the return window. You'll find hundreds of stories online that start with, "It seemed great at first." One viewer said it simply, "My video was gorgeous for the first 2 months. Then it started restarting randomly every other day. Then the menu button got stuck in some weird loop that kept opening YouTube shorts mid-mov. Support told me to unplug it for 15 minutes, so I did. Now it won't turn back on." Cool. Yikes. Vizio used to be the no-brainer. Now it's more like a gamble in a clean disguise. Some units still shine, many don't. Quality just isn't consistent anymore. You're not buying a TV, you're playing bingo. Number 4, high-ends. The bold underdog with punch. Let's talk about a disruptor. Hisense. 10 years ago, if you saw one in a store, you assumed it was a typo. It looked like a knockoff from some trade show basement. Today, different story. High-ends crashed into Walmart like it had something to prove. And weirdly, it kind of did. They brought QLED, ULED, Dolby Vision, high refresh rates, gaming features, all the buzzwords. And on paper, they're the best bang for your buck in the store. In reality, it's almost true. Picture quality is strong, especially on their mid to high tier models. Bright panels, punchy highlights, contrast that actually competes with the big brands. Watch an action movie on one and you'll raise an eyebrow like, okay, I see you. Gamers, They're loving it. VRR, low input lag, fast refresh rates across models, movies, sports, cartoons. It all looks pretty darn good. But of course there's a but. Build quality. Let's just say thin is being polite. Hisense TVs can feel like they were assembled on a lunch break. Stands wobble, frames creak, you tap the bezel, it moves. HDMI ports feel loose. Day one. And the speakers. Well, imagine yelling into a Pringles can, then playing that audio back underwater. Most folks have to buy a soundbar just to make it acceptable. And then there's the reliability roulette. You'll hear stories like, "My Hisense is still amazing after 3 years." No. Issues. Then scroll down and find, "My Hisense started blinking like it was communicating in Morse code 3 weeks after purchase." Boo. Software support can also feel random, especially on budget models. Updates show up late or not at all. Bugs. They sometimes stick around forever. Look, if you want the biggest bang for your buck and you're okay rolling the dice, Hisense is your brand. But if you're trying to buy something that won't randomly collapse like a folding chair in a hurricane, maybe look higher. High reward, high risk. Let's start with the obvious weapon, OLED. While most TVs on that shelf use LED or QLED with backlighting, LG's OLED panels are a different breed. There's no backlight. Every pixel lights up and shuts off individually. Translation. Perfect blacks, infinite contrast, colors that don't just pop, they explode. Once you've watched a real OLED TV, especially in a dark room, anything else just feels fake. You notice the glow from streetlights in night scenes, the tension in shadow detail, you feel the difference. It's movie theater level immersion in your living room, minus the sticky carpet and $12 popcorn. LG has been perfecting OLED longer than anyone, and it shows. Smooth gradations, no blooming, crisp highlights without the artificial sharpness other brands try to fake. If you've never seen actual black on a TV screen, OLED will spoil you forever. But LG is not just riding on pretty pixels. Their WebOS smart TV platform, straight fire. Clean layout, fast navigation, lots of apps, no fuss. You're not getting the mess that RCA calls a menu or the snail-like loading times of Vizio's Smartcast. WebOS works. Period. No lag, no guessing, no guessing. Just pick up the remote and go from streaming to YouTube to live TV in 2 clicks flat. And for gamers, LG's mid to high-end models are loaded with gaming features. Low input lag, G-Sync, FreeSync, VRR, 120Hz refresh rates. It's basically plug-and-play heaven for PS5 and Xbox Series X owners. You won't just see your game, you'll feel it. Reliability, another massive win. Look online and you'll find story after story from folks who bought an LG OLED in 2017 and are still using it every night with 0 issues. No blinking, no blown out HDMI ports, no fried motherboards like we've seen way too often with ONN or Vizio. One commenter put it like this: "I ditched my Samsung 2 years ago for an LG OLED. Haven't looked back. I don't even think about the TV anymore, it just works every night, every app, every time. That's the dream. Right now, before we crown LG the perfect brand, let's talk about weaknesses. Because yes, even the king has his flaws. Number 1, risk of burn-in. OLED panels, while brilliant, do carry a small chance of image retention if you leave static elements like news tickers or game widgets on screen for hours at a time every day for months. Is it common? Not really anymore. LG has built-in protection features, screen shift, logo dimming, pixel refreshers. If you're watching stuff like a normal person and not leaving CNN for 12 hours a day, you're fine. But if you're buying this for a sports bar or a 24-hour digital menu, maybe rethink OLED. Second con, LG's price. And yes, we're not talking dollar signs today, But let's just say you're not paying bargain box numbers here. LG knows what it's worth. They're not trying to be cheapest, they're aiming to be right, and while some folks blink twice at the cost, very few regret the purchase once it's set up and powered on. A guy emailed me once, said he saved for a year to buy a 65-inch LG OLED on a post-holiday deal. He said the first night felt like moving from a flip phone to a spaceship. He never looked back. While the other 9 brands on this list come with compromise, LG at Walmart is the one that truly delivers. You pay more, but you get something that lasts, something that stuns, and more importantly, something that doesn't collapse into a support nightmare 6 months in. If you want a set it and forget it TV that earns its spot in your home, LG's the pick. So, now let's zoom out. Let's recap where your money shouldn't go and where it maybe should. We started down in the bargain bin, where the price tags lie louder than the marketing on Built like a science fair project and dies like one too. RCA, the ghost of good brands past JVC total lottery, except no one's really winning. Philips, a European name tag slapped on a screen full of lag and regret. Panasonic, that one reliable uncle who peaked in 2002 and still wears cargo shorts. Then we moved into the middle zone where fake promise meets real risk. Vizio still has some fight left, but the software is a mess and quality control has packed its things and left. Hisense, the wild performer with fireworks and flaws, could be a surprise. Steel or a slow rolling headache. TCL, one of the best bets if you like to gamble. Impressive value if you don't mind the odds. Samsung, flashy, fun, and expensive, but just when you're loving it, they hit you with 3 menu ads and a $400 repair fee. And finally, we landed on LG, the brand that doesn't just perform, it exceeds. Not because of hype, not because of gimmicks, but because of design, execution, reliability, and picture quality that'll make you feel like you've been watching through a dirty window your whole life. And here's the truth. Most people don't need the cheapest TV. They need one that actually works, looks great, lasts more than a year, doesn't serve you menu ads, and doesn't make you want to chuck the remote at the wall after 3 weeks. They want one that's smart enough to work. Before you go, hit that subscribe button. We don't just review, we expose. From the hype to the hidden failures to the tricks brands hope you'll never question. So, hit like, tap subscribe, and join thousands of smart shoppers who already know smart spending starts with asking smarter questions.